Oh, I fucked that up. 1 second, let me fix that. But hello, welcome everybody to the Immaterial Gamers Podcast, episode 195. Let me get my camera running, because Duncan's got his.
Oh, there it is. Oh, fuck. Hold on. There it is. We're good. Hey.
And uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why aren't you capturing? Oh, because we're in the wrong channel. Oh dear, 1 second. We have to switch channels so I can fix it. Oh, everything's all a mess. There, now turn your camera on. Now everything will work. Wait. There we go. All right, so let's try that again. Hello, welcome everybody to episode 195.
We exist.
Yes,
We're real people.
my camera's a million miles away right now, but yeah.
1,000
So
years away.
it's been a crazy week, and of course, the AC people decided to come half an hour before my scheduled podcast time. But
What bastards?
Amber and Max seem to be enjoying themselves back there.
We're just hanging out, living
I,
their
I got
best.
I got my puppy hanging down by my feet.
You're our ever shadowy host today.
Yeah, it's getting kind of awkwardly. I don't have any light. 1 sec. Let's see if I can light this up. What have you played this week, Duncan?
Just right into it, huh? Fuck. I mean, not a lot. My whole last week was fucking exams and shit. But I did.
Exams.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a real boy soon. I've applied for graduation. I'm a high roller now.
You've applied for graduation.
Yes, it's just a matter of time now, and I will have my degree in business finance.
And then you'll have all the millions? Is that how it
Well,
works?
maybe some of them,
You'll
a
have all the
couple.
millions? As soon as you get out of school, you should have all the millions?
Elon Musk, you watch out. I'm coming for you,
Oh,
big boy.
billions then.
Well, I mean, billions are just made up of millions, right? Like
Lots
that's
of
just
millions. A lot of millions. But does that mean
hey.
you're going to go out and buy some company like Twitter?
Instagram's looking pretty. I don't
You
know,
don't want to touch
pretty
that
solid,
market.
pretty
You don't want to touch
commendable.
that market.
You know why? What market? Instant grams.
Instant grams. Oh,
It's it's like some kind of it's like a dehydrated meal. You know,
de-
you pour water on it. It's just like you and then you let it bake. And it's like woof, bread. Instant grams. Tastes like shit, but it'll keep you alive in the desert.
yeah. Sure, whatever you say.
Um, I played a Binding of Isaac earlier today for I think the second time.
What is it? Binding of Isaac?
The Binding of Isaac, yeah.
Don't think I've seen
My
that.
sister's my sister's been obsessed with it. It's sort of it's like a twin stick shooter roguelike.
Oh, okay. I think
Uh,
I've seen. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Steph is I don't I know Steph must have played it. I feel like I've embedded in my memory just Steph using Binding of Isaac emotes just all the time. So I feel like he's probably got some knowledge in that
Well,
department. It's all right.
what's it about? What's the story to
Um.
it?
Oh, wow. Aren't you in for a fucking wild time? So the Binding of Isaac is about a small child whose insane, highly religious mother, starts like hallucinating and believes that God is speaking to her and believes that God is telling her to murder him as a sacrifice. And
Uh, Sure.
Yeah, I know, right? It's great. This just got dropped on me when I just started playing the game. I'm like, okay, this is what my sister's into, I guess. So he escapes into the basement, which apparently leads into like the fucking the various realms of hell, and he uses his actual tears as weapons to fight off demons and
Kill the
attempt to,
demons.
I don't know, escape, I guess. Save his, save his own life. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And my sister's been kind of obsessing over it lately and decided to pull me into it. What did you reeling me in?
She
What's
reeled you
happening?
in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay. Like you know, I like it. It's okay. You know, I don't mind twin stick shooters. They're all right. But it is like sometimes I feel like things are just kind of happening, and it's just maybe I'm just getting old and
I
turning
think
into
we
an old
all
gamer.
are, because like
And I'm
there's
just
so many
like,
games now that are just like I feel like I can't keep up with some of the things. Like things happen way too fast.
yeah, and it's just like it's just like and things are just immediately happening as soon as I enter a room. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
help!
when I was younger
Which
was
character am I?
when I was younger was I able to determine what is supposed to where I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to do right now, or am I just supposed to just get hit by everything?
Yeah, it's worse for me because I know because I'm still young enough that I remember I was able to do that. You know, 7, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, I got this. I can
What,
shoot
like when
these
you used to whoop my
guys.
butt in Tap Tap Revenge?
Tap Revolution.
Oh
Your
yeah.
memory is so bad you don't even remember the name of the game. Uh, it's just like,
Hey, I'm
yeah,
over 30, man.
yeah, you're ancient. You have like you're gonna start going gray soon, man. I don't know.
I don't have any hair to go gray.
Yeah, well, you still got a beard. You just giving
See,
up on the hair thing,
unlike
or
Ryan, I actually shave my head. I ain't
there you
scared.
go. Start
That's right,
turning into
Ryan. I
Jesse,
called you out.
turning into Jesse Pinkman over there.
Oh yeah. Nah, I just decided to shave it down. Let the scalp get some air for it'll grow back. So it's only hair.
Yeah, it sucks. I've felt myself getting worse at games
Yeah.
lately.
Our reactions are getting slower and slower, and
Yeah, and it's just my attention span. It's just like just being able to like just take in the information from the game and be like, okay, what is happening? How am I supposed to respond to this?
yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I like playing the games that I've been playing forever because it just seems like I can understand it and figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas, like now, some of these games, I just get stuck and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And like, I actually have to go to Google to figure out where to go or what to do. Whereas before, we never had to search how to do something. It was just like, oh, let's try this. Oh, that worked. Okay. It just seemed like it was common sense before. Now it's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Hmm,
I can't open this door. Well, maybe you have to go around the door.
unbelievable, outrageous
Yeah.
slander.
So what else have you been up to? It's been a while since you've been on a podcast. What, at least 3 weeks, maybe longer.
Fuck, dude, you really have no idea. When I said that I was like the last week was all exams and stuff, the 2 weeks before that was studying and end of term projects.
You don't
I haven't.
study.
I studied a little bit.
You got called out.
I was I was spending a lot of my time working on fucking projects though,
That one I can
because
understand.
in most of my fucking group projects, I was the only fucking person like doing any of of the work,
Yeah.
and
Welcome to the
you
real
know,
world, where one or two
yeah,
people do all the work and everybody else just sits around and takes credit.
mm-hmm, yeah. This is why I'm not that worried about my grades being that good because I've seen the competition. It's not that serious.
Yeah, but the downside is some of them can talk better
It's like,
than you. They have a better talk,
no.
or they know better people. Because now it's more about
I
who
don't know
you know.
anybody. I don't even
Yeah.
know who you are. I'm just fucking.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm, what
Where are we right
people?
now? Where
What
are we
even
right
are?
now?
Who even wants to talk to people? Honestly.
It went all right back around to the old people again. We don't even know who we are.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
what?
my cane right
He's getting
here.
a prop.
Just when things get too rough, I've got the cane ready.
Yeah, it's pretty sad that you have to have a cane ready.
We've had it. It's
Max, get him!
for a little while.
Get him, Max! He's got a stick.
Even if all of my audio was not coming through my headphones, Max would not be able to hear you at all. He is completely deaf.
Is he?
Absolutely.
I didn't know he was deaf.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, pal? Hey, buddy. What's up?
Wow.
Look at me. Come on, buddy. Yeah, he has no idea I'm talking to him.
Wow, I didn't realize Max was deaf.
Yeah, it's been the last few years or so. He's lost his hearing, like 2 3 years. It's gone.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. He still he can see just fine.
Yeah,
But
he chooses to ignore you still.
oh, absolutely. Oh,
What's the
he's been
point of hearing if you're just going to
he's
ignore
been
it
practice
anyways?
he's been practicing ignoring me for, oh god, 8 years,
Yeah.
8 9 years.
What's the point
It's
of
just
hearing
like
if you're just going to ignore them anyways? You don't need to hear
we
them.
go, we get up to go outside. Oh, I'm handling the leashes and the harnesses. I'm getting ready to do stuff. Amber's just standing there like, out of tension, like, okay, put my stuff on, let's go. Max, he'll just saunter around the living room, do a little lap, have a drink from his bowl, and then he'll eventually trundle on over to the front door.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I think even if my dog Lily was deaf, as soon as I picked up that leash, she would hear it. She just
Mm.
loves the leash. Like it's just like, oh my god, it's time, it's time, it's time.
I don't have that. I can't really get that with Max anymore. Now I have to, like, actually, if he's like asleep or whatever, I have to, like, actually wake him up because I can't, like, call his name,
Yeah.
like, Max, wake up, it's time to go. I have to, like,
Hey, buddy.
and it's funny too, because, like, if I've come home from being outside from, like, work, or if I've been away, you know, it's usually just Amber at the front door because Max will be out sleeping in another room somewhere, and because he's asleep, he has no idea that I've just come in the door. Amber hears the door opening, he doesn't.
Yeah, and unless
So
they're
he has
close
to,
by each other, he's not going
yeah,
to wake up when she goes.
exactly.
Well, that got sidetracked pretty good.
Ah, well, hey,
This
whatever.
podcast is all about the dogs.
It is. We should. I've always wanted to have a dog podcast, which is, you'd call it the podcast with a PAW. It's just,
The Pog.
it's all about the podcast.
Pog.
PAW.
Just call it Pog.
What? No. Why do you have to ruin that? I don't want it to be the podcast. If I call it the podcast, people are gonna think it's something else. I don't even know. It's like, yo, pod. The face. It's like, you know, and I would only make that face sometimes if we had a dog podcast. Only, it would be probably not even one per podcast. Almost guaranteed.
But it's the Pogcast.
Or you just call it the dog cast. That's another one.
Yo, dog.
I heard you like dogs, dog. So brought your dog on the dog podcast.
I'd pull my dog up, but I might hurt her. So, because my dog just
Yeah,
got
you.
fixed.
Yes. No, that would be bad. You don't want to do that.
No, she's just hanging out by my feet all day long. She just wants to be close to people right now. But she's back to her normal self today, which is a lot better than yesterday, where she was very, very dopey.
Yeah, I imagine she had all the drugs.
Yeah.
That was how Max was when he came home from getting fixed. Got
So,
fixed much earlier in his life.
yeah.
But yeah, he was just like,
Yeah, she was basically what he is right now.
"Hey, buddy,
I love how he's just like, yeah, whatever, people.
Maxie."
He's like, yeah, you're just a person.
Can
You're
you
a weird
hear
person.
me? Ah, So
That's funny.
he can see my face moving, but he has no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, what have I
So
played this week?
yeah, let's hear about it.
I missed last week's podcast because everything seems to get piled up on my podcast days now. Um, so, since my last podcast, we've been playing. I think we started it 2 podcasts ago. A Minecraft mod pack called Sky Factory 1. It's
Okay.
um, you're not a big Minecraft person, but I'm sure you've watched Minecraft streams and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've you know I've played. I mean, I've played Minecraft. I've played Skyblocks. I've dabbled.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
So it's similar to like Skyblock, but it's factory version where you have a lot of mods that can do things, and basically you have to make a cobblestone generator, which is like the first thing you do with any Skyblock thing. Well, actually, no, sorry. First, you have to grow your tree to expand your island to make a cobblestone generator. Um, but
Classic.
yeah, so then in this, once you get the very basic stuff done, you hammer cobblestone down to gravel, and you can then sieve gravel for basic resources like diamonds, iron, gold, all that stuff. You'll get ore pieces, and you can combine those to make nuggets that you can, or not nuggets, but chunks that you can smelt. Um, you can also then hammer gravel down to sand and dust, and each one has different rewards when you sieve it. Dust gives you more things, more like glowstone, redstone. You still get a bit of iron and gold, but
Dust,
yeah.
dusty minerals.
And then sand gives you a chance of getting seeds, like cactus seeds, stuff like that. So they all have their own like benefits to sieving those things. Um, but yeah, we've been playing that for a few weeks, and we're pretty much at the end game. We've killed all the bosses, and now we just have a large factory that does everything automatically mostly. And
That is the thing with Minecraft, and I guess it's true for a lot of survival games. It's like eventually it's just kind of like, well, I've kind of done all the things, so I guess the game is done. Shrug.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no real like, well, in Minecraft there sort of is. When you kill the end dragon, it says the end, and it gives you the credits. But you can still continue to play and make your life better and everything like that. Um, but yeah, now what we're doing mostly is just making things pretty, enchanting our gear, making things just the way we want it to be, and stuff like that. But the downside with mod packs is they start to get laggy, and the more you do with the mod pack, the laggier it gets, and the more the server struggles to keep up. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, other than that, played a few games of TFT today and got my butt kicked multiple times. Me and Steph played. One of the games he
Sounds
came in
about
third, but
sounds about normal.
yeah, pretty much. But I don't like to play TFT and just do the same build every time and like find that one build that just kills everything always. Stupid challenger build.
Challenger good, attack speed good.
Yeah. Some of the builds like are guaranteed like top few places kind of thing. I like to just sort of play with what the game gives me, and uh
That's usually what I do too. I mean,
and
yeah,
I like to
I
change it
have my
up.
favorites, but I like
Well, yeah,
to
I like doing
experiment.
specific things, but I like to change it up, and it's more entertaining that way, and trying new items on new characters and stuff, and seeing how well they work. But yeah, other than that, I haven't had a lot of time to play, but I am gonna have a few more days this week because I'm off till Friday. So
Wow.
yeah,
I'm also off till Friday. Isn't that something?
I might join you guys for the uh, team fight tactics Thursday or whatever it is. I think it's Thursday. I hope it's Thursday.
Yeah, that is what's on rotation this week. Yeah, yeah, wouldn't that be extra special?
Yeah, I haven't got to get in a game of that for a while, so hopefully I can join that. And what time does that usually go on? I don't remember.
I think it's a 1:30. Be on our schedule.
Well, Ryan's usually at work until, yeah, 1:30 or 2-ish in the afternoon, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
So, I just realized I should open my chat up. Where did it go? It fell behind. Where did my chat go?
Where'd you go?
I don't like
Magic.
this. Oh well, I don't need it. I'm not going to deal with the chat. But yeah, so, yeah, I'll be around for a few days. I decided to take a few days off because my puppy dog would definitely do good from the attention after her surgery.
Mm.
Give her some
Yeah.
peace and quiet, or not peace and quiet, but like some quiet comfort. But yeah,
Nice.
I got something coming in the mail. Downside is it's going to get here Friday when I go to work.
Oh.
I got a new graphics card coming.
Oh my
I
god.
got a
Was that
3070 Ti coming.
that's numbers and also
A
letters.
few
I mean,
letters, yeah.
they add up. They add up to spell good, if I recall.
Pretty good, yes. Well, let's compare it to what I have right now. So if I go to user benchmark, which is not always the most accurate, but let's see. If I compare my card to that card, this card is 235% better than my card.
235%. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good jump.
Yeah, that's a pretty good jump, I would say.
I don't think I've had a 200% performance jump since the first time I got my own computer,
Yeah, the first
as
one that
opposed
we
to just
built
hand me
together.
down shit. Yeah.
At
That was a good 200% jump for sure. Over my just
least that would that would
PC shitty thing that I used to own.
yeah.
I can just remember like the very first time I had like a like a serious gaming PC. It's just like the little graphics card that my computer came with. It was just a fucking flat chip,
Yeah.
like this big,
Yep.
you know. And it's just like I got, I mean, you know how graphics cards looks. I mean, they look like fucking plastic sandwiches. Like they're fucking submarine sandwiches out to here.
Yeah.
And it's just like my new graphics card could eat my old graphics card whole. It's,
Yeah,
it
pretty
still have room for the
much.
processor for dessert.
So my current graphics card came out 91 months ago.
91 months ago. That is wow. I can't even math. What is that? 7 years?
Something like that, yeah.
7.5 years? That's old.
It's
That's
yeah.
older than my that's older than my sister's cat.
Well, that's when like the original versions of them came out. Mine's not the base 9070. It's like it's an EVGA, so they've modified it some. Okay, sorry, Sapphire had to leave me a note. Because we have dinner coming soon. But yeah, so
Mm.
that's gonna be a fun fun change. Um, I'm waiting to see because the downside is my processor is actually older than my graphics cards in my computer. So I'm waiting to see like I won't get the full 235% bonus. I am
No,
sure
you're gonna run into a bit of a bottleneck there.
I'm sure there's going to be a bottleneck with my motherboard and my processor. But the cards just came available, like with a decent supply from a reputable seller that I'm not worried that they're been used already and burnt by crypto miners. I didn't have to buy a full PC, so I decided to get it from Best Buy because they actually have a decent amount right now. But yeah, it's gonna get here Friday when I go to work. Probably before I
Hooray!
go to work, which is going to be even
But
worse.
by the time you come back, there's gonna be a new model.
Oh yeah,
You're like, mother.
there's already new models, but technically this card has been out for, I've seen it somewhere. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Yeah, this card's been out since the second quarter of 2021. Because the 40 series will be coming out eventually, but these 30 series when they came out were like ridiculous compared to the cards of the season before. So I wanted one when they first came out, and they were supposed to be at a really good price. And then the chip shortage happened. The crypto miners happened. Everything happened. You couldn't get one. So, and they've been available for a while, but like every time they became available, like their cost was just so ridiculous. And like this card wasn't cheap still, but it finally came into where I had a budget. But yeah, this card's been out for 10 months, give or take. Um,
Technology is. It's one of those things. Just like you measure it in quarters. This is like I think my computer's already like a couple years old.
yeah. Well, either way, my aim was to get a card around this quality. I was thinking of going higher, but I decided, you know what? For what I'm going to be using it for, if this one that I have right now is holding for me, why am I going to go ridiculous and pay $2,000 for a graphics card? When your first computer, I think we built for just over $1,000.
Yeah, it was under 1100 taxes in and everything.
Yeah. And it was decent. It wasn't the best, but it was decent.
It was a good mid-range gaming PC at the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying
And
to figure out how to find details on my hardware. I want to know what I actually bought.
is it NVIDIA? Do you have NVIDIA control panel at the bottom right?
Uh, Good question. Wait, yes, I, I do in fact. I will
That'll
be able
tell
to
you
pull
what
that up.
what graphics cards you have the easiest way. There is also the DX Diag.
Oh god, it's installing an update or some shit.
Yeah, if you type in your search bar at the bottom, type DX Diag, one word. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh god. Ah, I opened that and then my Nvidia
Oh,
GeForce should finish updating. Uh, Shit. I have to log in? No, don't do that.
oh, you opened the GeForce Experience.
I did.
Yeah,
Where the hell is where's my
just
where's my
open just open the DX Diag. It's easier.
I do. I have it open.
Then it'll tell you your system information in that nice, pretty window there.
System information. The fuck? Operating system, language, system, BIOS, processor. I got the processor. AMD Ryzen 5 3600.
Okay, so you're a 3600 Ryzen. What's the clock on it? It
Clock.
says after, it'll say at, and then a number with gigahertz usually. Right after the
At
processor, in the same line.
Oh, 3.6,
So you're 3.6, and how many CPUs does it say?
12.
Yeah, so you're 3.6 gigahertz, I'm at 3.4. I have 8
Aha!
CPUs, you have 12.
I assume bigger is better.
Yes. Gigahertz is how many
Yay!
processes per second it does at a maximum. How much RAM do you have?
RAM. I have 16 gigs of RAM.
I have twice your RAM, bro. Um,
Damn.
and then I think you have to go to display 1 to get your graphics card.
Display one. Let's see. I got the. I have a 1660 Super. I
Ooh,
don't even know what that. I don't even know
1660
what that.
Super.
I don't even know what that
It's
means. Why is it
Um,
super?
it's just, it's like basically what they do is it's either going to be called a super or TI or something like that. Like basically what they try to do is they try to compete. They build the lower card and they overclock it to compete with the next card up. So you get it for cheaper because it's not as much hardware, it's more software and a little bit of extra voltages and stuff like that. You get more performance out of it basically.
All right.
Other than that, there is some other like I'm not going to go fully into it, but there is a bit more to it. They do actually modify the chips some, add a little bit of RAM, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's a 1660, which is what generation is that? I don't remember what generation. But anyways, it's a lot newer than mine, to say that. And
All right. All right.
here, how would I
I'm
do
happy
this
with it.
before we get into the news? I don't know why we got into this, but let's compare
You know, it's
this.
gaming PC related. It's all tied together. Yeah, I did buy this pre-built. Um, my actually I didn't even buy it. My dad bought it for me as a present. Um,
Yeah.
he
So,
I was like 1300 or something.
your card is one tier down. So that last number, the 60, is the tier. So like they go down as low as like 30s or 40s usually. Um, but when it comes to gaming, you don't want to go much below like a 50. Um, so you're in the 60. Mine's a 70. They go up
Okay,
to 90.
makes
Uh,
sense. Hard to go higher than 90.
yes, unless you go to 99. That's higher than 90.
It's true.
um, but anyway, so yours is a 60 range, which because it's super is supposed to compete with at least the 70s. Whereas mine's a 70, or the card that I'm getting is a 70. The current one that I have is a 70, not rated to go higher. Um, but yours is 42% better than mine. That being said, I do have two of them in mine, but you don't really get full gains that way. But yours came out in 2019, in the fourth quarter
Okay.
of 2019.
He's a spry young lad. That card.
It's almost 5 years old.
2019. How fucking
Oh,
what year
sorry,
do you think it is?
my brain. Whoa, yeah, sorry, almost 4 years old.
Hey, you know what?
That
That's
being
not bad.
said, that being said, my card is getting close to 10 years old,
Fuck.
which in
Uh,
computer terms is ridiculous
yeah,
because mine came out in
that's ancient.
2014.
You know what they need, right? You know how they have like dog years? I mean, it's all bullshit, but it's like they're supposed to be like every 7 years,
Yeah,
or a dog year is like 7 years or whatever.
yeah.
They need to have like computer years. Like, how old are you in PC years?
Uh,
Like in
my
PC year,
mine would be like 100. Like mine's at the end of its life.
yeah, it's like, yeah, 10-year-old computer component, yeah. Unless it's like a power supply or some shit, like you're fucking ancient at that point.
And to put it into perspective, so my graphics card came in the near the end of 2014. My processor. Oh, FedEx is calling me. Why is FedEx calling me? Hold on one second. If you can talk for a little bit, go for it.
Oh man, but yeah, it's 10 years old. It'd be like 20 years or something. It'd be every every year is 20 years in PC years. It's like, oh, you're 5 years old. Time to waddle on over to the retirement room. It's like, back in my day, all of our displays were connected with little prongs. There was no HTMI. There was just little VGAs. And it's like, all right, Grandpa, it's just into your basket now, please. Uh, yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a 10-year-old PC or already like. Make a note of the following information. Do I want to make a note of that information? Should I start writing things down? Oh God, what was I? Oh, what was I think? It would be kind of funny though to be like just take like the oldest jankest PC components, like just literal scrap, and just make like a really like just old ass like like 90s era, early 2000s era like PC and be like, this was the best that they had back in 2001. You know, this was top of the line. You had 96, you had like 19 megabytes of RAM, and and you could have two programs running at the same time, and you know, it's like you could connect to the internet today and
Can you?
not a week from now.
Sorry about that, but I got some good news. I don't have to wait
What's
till
that?
Friday. It's coming
Oh,
tomorrow. Like, they
yay!
literally sent me a text a couple hours ago saying it was going to be Friday. And now they're calling me saying it's going to be tomorrow.
They heard you. They're fans of the podcast.
Oh,
And they're
maybe they're
like,
listening. Hi, guys. Thank you. That means I
like,
get to
oh
play around
man,
with my computer tomorrow.
shout out to FedEx. Not sponsored, but
I
fucking
work. I
they
actually do
should.
FedEx work. I don't know if you
There
know
you
that.
go. Oh,
I
so you got an
I was
in
actually
then.
gonna, that's the funny part, is I was actually gonna text my friend Jake, who works at the airport in Toronto, the FedEx air freight. This is through FedEx Ground, so I don't have anybody connected in there. But through FedEx Air, I was gonna contact him and ask him to make sure that my package gets here today.
Well,
But
you know, just be like, you know, I'm gonna be in the area. You could just throw it in my truck. You know,
well, I won't
private
be in the area
delivery.
till Friday. It'll be too late. But I was gonna make sure that he got it here early. I was gonna make sure of it. All right, so let's get into the news. Okay, sorry, I actually was in the middle of saying. So my graphics card was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
My processor's from 2013. It literally
2013.
is a 9-year-old processor.
I was in high school in 2013.
Yeah, this is the computer that I had when I built your computer.
Wild.
That's the scary part.
That's
All that's been
that's
upgraded since
silly.
then is the graphics since you bought yours.
That's silly. I've gone through two separate upgrade phases since then.
I haven't been able to afford. Well, okay. That being said, the upgrade phase that I did just after yours was I bought these two graphics cards, and each of these graphics cards were $600.
Which combined was more than my PC
Yeah,
all of it.
because when I think I've told this story before, but the reason I spent so much on graphics cards was because I heard about this fancy feature called SLI. And SLI allows two graphics cards to work together. At the time, I didn't do enough research, didn't realize that, for one, games had to enable it, like, had to be written to be able to use two graphics cards. It wasn't the graphics cards that would deal with that, the games themselves had to be written to do it.
Hmm.
So there wasn't very many games that were compatible with it. And then there was the other problem that I had a 770 before I had this 970. And from what I had read, as long as the last number, like the 70, was the same, the newer card would just throttle back a little bit to match the older one. Which wasn't true. So when I plugged in the fucking 970, all of a sudden my 770 was useless. Well, the 970 wasn't that big of an upgrade on my 770. So what did I do? Spent more money and bought another 970, which barely made it even more of an upgrade.
God.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
a.
I mean that's just the way of it, right? When it comes to technology, you know,
It's also
the hardware always comes before the software. It's like you make technology that you don't need, and then we go, hooray, we have this technology. What the fuck do we do with it? And then people start brainstorming. It's like, okay, well, we could do this with it, but then you know, obviously by that point, it's like there's like three things in the universe that actually use that
well
hardware.
nowadays my graphics cards seem to run together, and I haven't found anything per se. Like I haven't really done that much research, but I'm thinking what happened is Nvidia got smart and built it into their driver so that the program doesn't have to check for two graphics cards. It just sends the information, and then the driver says, okay, let's run it through both the processors or both GPUs. Because
Hmm.
both my GPUs work for most games now. I don't think the programs have changed. I think the driver has changed. So I think NVIDIA got smart and said, let's work on this. But SLI is dead now. Nobody SLIs cards anymore. The only people that run multiple cards are people
Noobs.
that are running cryptocurrency.
Rip. Cryptocurrency, more like cryptocurrency.
But yeah, so let's hop into the news real quick, seeing as
Why
I've been
not?
super
I mean, what the hell
distracted.
else are we doing with our lives?
Just give me 1 second, because somebody needs my wallet.
Some anonymous
Somebody
individual
that's fading in and
will
out of the background. All right, so
this
I'm gonna
this
skip the first
blurry
thing.
monstrosity.
Maybe you know what? See, if Ryan was here, this first one would be good because I don't know anything. Um, if Ryan was here, this one would be good to talk about because I don't know anything about the Royal Albert Hall or BBC really. How about you?
I have heard of the BBC.
Yeah, me as well. Well, we visited the UK, but that doesn't mean we know any of this stuff.
Well, this I mean, I assume it's a big theater.
It looks like it's a orchestra theater kind of thing. Like, um,
Hmm.
oh yeah, the orchestral concert will feature music from Kingdom Hearts and Shadow of the Colossus and Battlefield 2042. So it looks like they're gonna
One
play.
one of these is not like the
Yeah,
other. I mean, Kingdom Hearts. Fuck. I mean, you're gonna do a live score of any video game soundtrack. Go Kingdom Hearts. They're
yeah,
like
that
one of the
that's got
best
some pretty good music
series of all
to it.
time.
But yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into that one just because, yeah, it's British stuff, and I'm not there, and I don't know much about it.
I mean, the bottom line is big, fancy, prestigious music hall is doing video game music. They're making it a thing. You know, it's like, hey, that's cool.
I got a question for
Video
you,
games.
Dunk. Do you like Final Fantasy?
I am a fan of some Final Fantasies.
All
Some
right.
individual.
Next question. Would you spend $12,000 on a Final Fantasy statue?
I can't say that I would spend $12,000 on a lot of things. There's actually a very small. I'd be hard pressed to spend $12,000 on a car right about this point in my life, and that would be really useful for me to have right now.
Yeah. Apparently Square Enix. Uh. I hope. Yeah, it's a statue. It's a fucking statue that Square Enix has put up for 12. Well, it's 1. What? Why would they write numbers that way? Is that a typo? I'm assuming that's a typo. They must have put an extra number in
That
there.
must that has to be a typo. I
Well,
mean,
no,
you don't
because
just
they
put
don't put.
4 digits in your fucking
Oh, you are on the same page as me?
yeah.
I'm like, that's gotta. So let's just estimate 1.4 million yen. Maybe it's 1.5 million. I don't know, but somewhere
Yen
around 1 point.
to USD. So let's do 14 million. Let's assume they meant 14 million.
One.
That's six zeros. So, oh, I think
I think it's 1.4 million yen.
I think yeah, I think it's the extra zero is actually what's messing up because that comes out to $100,000. I was like, that's not quite right.
No, it's 10% of that. So yeah, one extra zero. So
Yeah, so
1.4
1.4
million.
million yen.
Yeah. So yeah, they have a statue that's worth 1.4 million yen, or about 11,600 US dollars. And people are just asking, what the hell is with that? Like, we're not gonna buy that. You have to be some crazy fan or just really bad with your money.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like I can almost see somebody like it's weird that they're putting this out because it's like I can see like a really dedicated fan like making something like this and putting it up like on like I don't know
Yeah,
Etsy or some shit. Uh, but it's like for this to be like first party merchandise to be like wow that is unusual.
yeah, like that's like what you said is basically a fan to make it and be like, but even a fan when they first put it up, they're not going to put it up for that much money.
Now I'm not gonna lie, it's a fucking nice statue,
I'm
and I
not
feel
clicking
like
on any links because I don't want to hear any audio or anything like that. But I don't,
I've just got mine muted, but yeah I've got the shot of it. It's like it's a very nice statue, and if I was really into Final Fantasy VI, it'd be or Final Fantasy in general. Even I was like, that'd be a cool thing to have. But man, 11 grand. I could like my top bid on that. I would maybe go like 1,000,
yeah,
1,200, something like that. Like that is a
something
to me
that
a
you can.
reasonably it's high, but it's a reasonable price that I could see myself investing if I had nothing better to spend my money on for something that I really really cared about.
Yeah, now is there only like one of these, or are they producing multiples? Like, I don't see anything about that. Like, I could kind of understand that price range if they're only making one.
600 fans have that kind of it appears that they're implying that there's like multiples because it's like let's see
Usually, if they're doing something like that, like, the only way I could see it being that costly is, um, okay, Lily, come on. Please, nope, please. Oh, Lily.
I like the subheading under the article name is it's not even life sized.
Yeah. Like, I could understand that price range if you're saying it's the only one that we're making. Or, like,
Okay,
there's
there
only.
okay it does look like they've had 600 things up on the sale because that seems it's like that seems to be what they're implying with the
Apparently
wording of the
believes at
thing.
least 600. Uh, okay, so maybe they just said this is what we're gonna make. How many people are interested, and that's how many people that they think are interested or whatever. But yeah, like I can't do that.
I
I'm
mean,
complaining. I'm
maybe if
complaining
it
about a
was,
thousand,
I mean, maybe if it was comprised of semi-precious metals, you know,
or
like
if
in
there
the.
was a chance of it like becoming super valuable in the future. Like some people like trading cards because they have a chance of getting that high value card, but you still got to find the right buyer.
I
Um,
mean, I'm sure this thing will. Yeah, I'm sure someone will want to buy this eventually.
but
But like,
maybe
yeah,
not for more than that. Like
yeah,
it
I don't know.
depends. It depends on on the quality of it too.
There's a yeah. I mean, there's a buyer for everything.
Aw, Duncan,
What?
why is the Super Mario film being delayed?
Oh, okay. We're
we'll
wait. We're going. We're jumping into. Are we skipping past the Activision
go back.
news?
We'll go
All
back.
right.
I'm trying to fuck with you.
I was just like, all right, we're going to Mario now. I was like, we're talking about a statue. And, all right, but yeah, statue silly, statue crazy.
I'm assuming it's just behind schedule. Um,
Mamma mia.
will now launch in cinemas next April, so a year from now. Uh, okay, that's yeah, 7th of April. It'll launch on 7th of April in North America, and the 28th of April in Japan. I didn't realize they were 21 days behind us. I just I know there's time zone differences, but I didn't realize that they were 28 days or 21 days behind.
Oh
Did you know
God,
that?
this may. Sorry, what?
Did you know that they were 21 days behind us? Like I know there was a time zone difference, but I didn't realize it was 21 days worth.
Oh yeah, I mean the world is big. There's a lot of time zones.
So why is
Imagine
this
just
delayed?
start spinning around backwards in the world, just start going back in time.
Yeah. We still know very little about the film, which was previously set to arrive in December. Now we have a year to wait again. There's been no sign of a trailer, no mention of its plot. Um, Star of Jurassic World, Guardian of the Galaxy, Lego Movie, soon to be voice of Garfield. Chris Pratt is Mario. But yeah, it doesn't say
Yeah,
why it's delayed. There's no trailer, so I'm assuming they just haven't got.
I'm assuming that it was sort of thing. It's like, well, if we put it out now, the money, and then they were like, okay, no, it actually is not possible to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, Christmas is a good time for it, but it's like, we,
If you're not gonna
you know,
have a decent video, you're gonna just
yeah,
stick yourself in a hole.
it's like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's just like they're like,
You
yeah,
mean
they were like,
Ryan
we wanted
and
to have,
Stefan's date movie?
yeah, there you go. It's the bro date movie. Um, and they they had to delay their project a bit,
Yeah.
and I think, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's so weird listening to people be referred to with like Japanese honorifics. It's like Chris-san. It's just like it's like, is that, it's like, I guess that's what you would call them, but it's weird. It's uncanny hearing you say that. Also, this is being made by Illumination. I didn't know that. That's news to me. Um, well, rip this movie, I
It's
guess.
made by who?
Illumination.
Who the hell's that?
They're the people who made the fucking Minions movie and the
Oh,
the Despicable Me shit. They
they're
think I
they're doing
think
pretty good.
didn't they do the fucking Lorax or something? Lorax.
Probably. I don't know. I always just picture those all as like Disney stuff. They all seem like Disney kind of stuff to me.
Yeah, they're significantly less good than Disney,
Okay,
and
so
they're not even, and Disney's not even that great anymore.
so in
Uh
March 2021, Activision had 150 million active players across its games. Uh, Dominated by those playing Call of Duty Black Ops and Call of Duty Warzone. In March of 2022, Activision had 100 million monthly active players, a third less than a year ago. And I have a feeling that this is all because of the whole what the fuck Blizzard, what the fuck Activision stuff that's going on. Um, it doesn't say anything else about like World of Warcraft or anything like that. So I'm assuming this is just based on Activision and Call of Duty and stuff like that.
yeah, it even specifically says in the title that Activision lost its players while Blizzard's doing. Oh, I guess Blizzard is also losing people, but an
While Blizzard's
unrelated.
continues its downward trend, yeah.
Yeah, but they're both losing, but the figure that the title is referring to is specifically by Activision.
Yeah, Blizzard's player engagement had dropped 13% on a year to year, 26 million players. Blizzard now has 22 million players as the 31st of March. That's a pretty big hit. Like, I wonder how many. When did I play World of Warcraft? I want to see how many people uh, were playing World of Warcraft when I was playing World of Warcraft. So when I started playing World of Warcraft was when Burning Crusade came out, I think. No, yeah, maybe. I don't remember. I know I played Burning Crusade. I don't remember if I came out during Burning Crusade or the one right after it. But anyways, um, when it was released on, oh god, I do feel old. When it was released 15 years ago,
Yeah. Go on.
um, at midnight, selling nearly 2.4 million copies on release day alone. Um, does it say how many active people it had? I don't think they really kept track of active players back then that much. Um, I think they were more worried back then about just keeping the servers alive and not crashing. um, but
Well, these days, World of Warcraft isn't even their game anymore. Like, that's not even like the one. That's not even the go-to Blizzard game anymore.
yeah, it's not the one
Like,
that's
Overwatch
advertised. Yeah,
is the big cash cow now in terms of player base, in terms of fucking loot boxes and hits on Twitch and all that. Like that's the game to play now. And they've changed they've changed the model for World of Warcraft so much now that it's not as easily monetizable as it used to be. And so yeah, they've definitely shifted focus towards uh Overwatch and Hearthstone are the two big ones now.
yeah. Apparently, the WoW active population is less than 5 million now,
Yeah, that makes sense. That's about right for
which
my
is
estimations.
pretty crazy.
I think StarCraft 2 is somewhere in like the couple million range
Yeah,
now.
you have to keep those servers going.
You know, take 2 to 3 million per
Here's an
year.
interesting fact. Um, what would you say the average WoW player's age is?
What do I think the average World of Warcraft player's age is? I'm gonna go with like 35. I don't.
Um, okay, here, let's go with this. You're closer to the average female player's age of WoW,
Okay.
which is 32 and a half years old on average. The average age of WoW players, of all WoW players. So remember the 32% or 32.5 um, of women.
I like the idea. It's like I understand that. Like I understand. I just took like ages and did some division, and that's why they got that number. But I like to imagine that the women just identified as being 32 and a half. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like I'm 32 and a half, you
Yeah.
know, like a 7-year-old who's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 8 in 6 months.
Yeah. I'm 7 and 6 months old.
Yeah,
But yeah.
exactly.
So the
Anyway,
average WoW player's age is 28 years old.
that is significantly younger than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Significantly.
All right. How
I mean,
many?
fucking. I mean, World of Warcraft is barely that is almost that many years old.
All right.
That would make the average World of Warcraft player, you know, someone who was like a child when the game was released.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because how old are you?
I will be 27 this year.
Yeah. So
I'm doing the thing
this
I just
World
made
of
fun of.
Warcraft, you played a little bit when you came over to visit, but you weren't too into it because it wasn't your kind of a game
Not
when you
really.
were.
I'm just, like I might have been in, I, it's one of those things where it's like when I was my peak MMO playing years were like preteen and teenage years. Um, but at the time I couldn't have afforded a World of Warcraft subscription.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time I was old enough that I could play World of Warcraft, I was just no longer interested in MMOs anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll give you one more random question, and okay, we're not really um saying they're all men or women or anything like that. But what do you think the percentage of male players are in World of Warcraft?
I mean, obviously, it's going to be a majority. I mean,
It's
the
definitely a
fact of life,
majority,
the fact of life is that men occupy a majority stake in almost everything related to pop culture. Men are just more actively into
especially gaming and stuff like
stuff.
that.
They watch more TV than anyone else. They play more video games than anyone else. They watch more movies than anyone else. It's just that's just how it is. That's how guys roll.
Yeah.
But if I had to put it down to a number, it's what about 70%? Is that too high?
Do you want me to tell you higher or lower?
Go ahead. Start with higher or lower.
Higher.
Okay.
It's a big
I would have
majority.
yeah, I would have thought by now, like, maybe 70%, I would have thought like 90% when it started, and maybe it's, skewed more towards women over time, but maybe it went the other way. Who knows?
Well,
All
give me
right.
your final answer.
I'm gonna, my last bet is 75%.
Well, it's still higher.
How much?
84%.
Wow, 84%.
But like I
I,
said, it's also one of those things where you can't really assume that there's a lot of people that are transitioning. There's a lot of people like there's probably also a lot of people that when they made their account probably 15 years ago like I did was a guy and maybe they're not anymore. Are you going to change that on that? How is this survey done? How do they know? Did they just randomly go around and asking people? I don't think so.
I I I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that transgender people do not make up an enormous percentage of World of Warcraft players. Not as like a prejudicial thing, like there's just not a lot of them in general, like in the
Yeah.
world.
And
So like
well
to
there
narrow
is
it
there
down
is a
to
lot, but there's a lot of like cross binary and stuff like that that are they don't want to be put into a 1 or a 0. And I get that. Um but I'm gonna agree with you on that because I hate to say it, but 15 years ago, even 15 years ago, times were a lot different. There was not as many people that were open about being cross-gendered. Like
uh-huh.
really, the last like 5 years has been the big opening for all of that, and it sucks that it's taken so long to get to where we are. But even when I was in high school, like it was crazy to hear about someone being bi. Like like now it's like almost everybody's bi to some extent.
It does seem to be that way. Like it's just like I'm getting to a point where it's like I'm assuming people are bi until proven otherwise. Like
Yeah.
I'm almost more surprised when people are like, yeah, I just like dudes. That's all. I don't really, or I just like girls. It's like, nah. It's just like it's like wow. It's like well, just the one, really. I mean, I sure as hell I'm I'm as I'm as incredibly vanilla, boring, cis heterosexual as it gets. It's like there's, you know, I wish I had something more interesting to say about myself. No, I got nothing going on.
Yeah. All right,
So,
I'm gonna give you one more random World of
the point
Warcraft. Or
anyway, the point I was trying to say is just like even if it was like like 5%, like it's not like that would not change things substantially. Um, in that type of survey. Um, but yeah, 84%. That is a lot.
all right, one more.
Now the real question is what percentage of those male users are using female avatars?
Probably about 75% of them. Ooh, this is a nasty fact. 37% of psychiatrists believe that WoW players have bad mental health.
Now what is that based off of? Is like they have like treated WoW players and had WoW players in their office and determined that they have poor health, or they're just making this assumption blindly.
Yeah, it does have some states under it. Let's see if it says.
Because if it's just like people just randomly speculating, it's just like, well, I mean, go fuck yourself. I don't really care if you're a psychiatrist or not. But it's just like if this was like something that they've actually like compiled, like
Yeah, they
mathematically, be
didn't.
like, well, that definitely
They
says
have
something.
treated some, and they seem that. I think they're basically saying that there's a lot of people that. But it's hard to. It's such a weird thing because like so many people have played WoW. They may not be currently playing WoW. Are they considering current WoW players or all of WoW players? Because I can say that of my age, a lot of people of my age have played WoW at some point in their life, even if it was just for a few months, even if it was just for a trial. So are they considered WoW players? Do you have to have been a hardcore WoW player to become a WoW player? Do you still have to be playing WoW to be a WoW player?
I mean, I would like to assume that they're referring to people
Or current?
who at the time were playing and had been playing, somewhat regularly, you know, for an amount of time that it is an identifiable trait,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
I
It's
wonder
like
how
I
I got
spent,
into
I was
this.
like, it's like because it has to be proportional before it's like noteworthy. It's like I spend 8 hours a day sleeping. It's like, am I a big time sleeper? It's like, no, that's a normal amount of time to sleep. It's like, what is, I'd have to sleep 9, 10, 11 hours a day for it to be like, oh, this guy sleeps a lot, you know? Yeah, so it's all gotta be proportional, otherwise it's meaningless.
Yeah. Well, that was a. I don't know how I got into this rabbit hole, but it's kind of
Right.
interesting. I haven't really looked into the facts of World of Warcraft in a long time, so.
So what we determined is that the average World of Warcraft player is a depraved 20-year-old, probably single man, probably not transgender, but not necessarily not transgender, uh, who needs to seek help.
I got it. Okay. One last point. Since World of Warcraft came out, how many
Of the
people
closet?
have played it? How many people have played WoW at some point?
Oh man, I feel like it's got to be a lot. Um, have played
Higher
at
or
some.
lower than a billion?
Oh fuck, higher or lower than a billion? Um,
That's a hard one, but if you think about it, the population of the world's what, 9 billion? Almost
I
10?
is it that high?
Or
When did we cross?
or is it 7?
When did we cross 8? No one told me we crossed 8. What is the population of the Earth, Terry?
I am checking. Oh, it's 7.9. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
So,
we're getting there.
do you
We're about
think
to cross
one
8.
eighth of the world has played WoW at some point?
It's like 1/8 of the world doesn't even have a smartphone. It's like that's I'm gonna go under a billion, but maybe not by a lot.
You're correct. It's definitely under a billion.
Okay, how many people have played it at least a little bit?
Only 116 million.
Okay, I was gonna
It was
say it's
no.
just like that's
I wanted to
that's not
see.
even cool.
I wanted to
Oh
see if I could
God,
get you to go above, because you were so off on the other ones. I wanted to see
because
if
I
I
was
could
thinking to
push you.
myself it's like, okay, probably like 100 million downloads or something like that. And I probably first party downloads, I can see that being a pretty reasonable figure. Plus like maybe some trials that got lumped in there for free, maybe some people like shared accounts, maybe some people bootlegged the game. I was like, I could maybe see it getting it up into like the higher hundreds, but yeah, no, 116, that's almost disappointing actually. I mean, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, that's a fucking lot of people to play one game, but
but
still.
the other scary part is like it's such a big game that even after many years of playing, you could still find new things. There's still new things to
Well,
do.
there's always new things being put in the
Even
game
just
too.
from some of the basic games, like because there's different races. Like, okay, a lot of the quest lines are very similar, So if you go with like human or Tauren or something like that, a lot of the quest lines are very similar. Like go to this town, kill these mobs, collect some of these items, bring them back. But that's just like that's that's to say the same for any RPG game is they only have so many variations of what the quests can be. But they did add a lot of little Easter eggs and stuff like that. So, anyways, we've been going on and on and on for a pretty good amount of time. So,
Yeah.
I think we should call it a night and say our goodbyes. So, if you like what you see, like, follow, share,
Not
subscribe.
yeah, yeah. In terms of like the content, not so, I
Yeah,
mean,
not what we
obviously,
look like.
like this is we're not at our best here, but
I am. Look at this. Look at this shiny head.
uh,
Sorry, I had to. But yeah, audio versions of this is available everywhere you get a podcast. So you can listen to us if you don't want to see our ugly mugs. Probably much
there you go.
better that way.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, we didn't do one thing, so I'm not gonna hit the audio track for it, but we have a new segment. I don't know if you've noticed in our podcasts. The segment's called Anybody played Elden Ring yet?
No, I have not played Elden Ring yet.
Nope, neither have I. It's all over the. It was all over the news. It hasn't been as much lately, but it was all over like all social medias and everything. Like they've had a crazy advertising campaign going. But
That's anytime there's a Soulsborne game, it takes over the
yeah,
universe. People,
I've never played a
people
Souls
love
game.
this game. It's just like the one guy. Like that's, I feel like that's one of the things. It's like the most aptly named like like subgenre of game. Like you have your Metroidvanias and your
Yeah.
platformers and whatever. It's like the the Souls games are like very aptly named because it's just one guy working with different companies making the same fucking game over and over again with slightly different shit in it, and they're all the same. They all play the same. They all look the same. They're the same genre, same tone, same combat system. It's all the fucking same game.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like every time Elon does anything, it just explodes in the news. He doesn't try to advertise anything. He gets free advertising just by saying he's going to do something on Twitter.
Hey,
Like
you know
that's his
what?
advertising.
$44 billion purchases. That's news.
Yeah.
No matter who you are or what you're doing it for, you make it, you do it, and it's newsworthy.
But even like things like Tesla and stuff like that. He's never paid for an ad.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
he's
Word
done
of
is
mouth.
press
There you go.
conferences basically. And then everybody else goes and posts all the pictures they can find, any information they can find. And I guess that's the way of marketing now, but he doesn't even have to spend any money marketing,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually a pretty good way of making marketing. If you don't have to spend any money, but you can make money from it,
Absolutely.
works well for me. But anyways, I'm not getting distracted again. Stop throwing
Anyway.
shinies in my face. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye bye.